Yeah. Okay. So to understand your workloads, what's is going to happening here? So you will get easy understanding of your complete company to isolate. Not only for the reason prospect of you can do this one, you can do similar kind of approach. Okay. Let's say if it is in production, you can segment in a multiple ways. Also, we will do this segmentation part, dividing of resource group. So the ultimate, definition, okay, the Azure portal would be, web-based interface that you are going to deploy your resources, including Azure SQL database. Resource group is a logical container. Okay, so resources, let's say the SQL server and firewalls, whatever that you want to feel, you can do it here. Okay, so this is all about not into this, Azure portal, and you'll have resource group. So what else does next one? Okay, so if we can go the you'll get resource that we talked about. You will have storage account and container key, SQL and all. Okay, so it will comes into the SQL aspect. Okay, so next is, okay, so that we are going to talk about. Okay, so the terminology is just before, and I'm going to navigate now. Okay, so deploy the first of all Azure SQL, right? So we have two things actually. Okay, so let me make this clear. Okay, so whatever I post into the uh okay, all right. Now, so we have SQL Server virtual machine and SQL managed instance and Azure SQL, right? So these are all two flavors that we talked about, platform as a service related. This is infrastructure as a service. Okay. So let me show you this, platform as a service with respect to managed instance, which is going to take nearly the minimum to 3 to 5 hours of time. Okay, for this one I already deployed in the morning. Okay, to quickly deployment, okay, the prerequisites of this SQL managed instance, you have VNet, okay, dedicated VNet and a subnet. Okay, so that we can able to deploy. Okay, parallelly we will deploy Azure SQL and Azure SQL VM. Okay, so these three things we are going to deploy in the demo part. Okay, I'm just navigating towards this portal here. Okay, so everything we are going to discuss now. Okay, let me create first of all SQL managed instance. Okay, so that you will get an understand. See, to deploy this, it will take 3 hours of minimum 3 hours of time. Okay, but I will show this one how to deploy at this moment. Okay, so towards end of this one. Okay, once after the deployment, you can see this, completely the right top, you will get, stop, start a new database and all, and the information that we can able to see the service name, the host name, the sizing tier that we talked about, general purpose and the business critical kind of thing. We will discuss in detail this one. Okay, so which is already deployed. Okay, so now my agenda to deploy from the scratch to as part of this demo. Okay, now just go this left side panel, just click on this, Azure managed instance here. If you don't know that, okay, simple, you'll go and click on create the resources here. Okay, there also you will see and navigate to this database here. Okay, and if you can see this, there is a lot of the database latest stuff got, populating here. We'll have some, MongoDB, SQL Server, Synapse, a lot of things we have. Okay, but my focus Azure SQL related. So if I click on this, Azure SQL database, which is going to make this other page, right? So and now what I'm going to do now, okay, so Azure SQL also it is going to work. Okay, just click on this Azure SQL also it will show. Now if you can see, if you don't know, in the search bar also it is going to uh, take into this some other page. Okay, there is multiple ways you can able to go and deploy this one. Okay, once I'm just clicking that, just we talked about in a published thing. Okay, we have this three flavors, right, which is going to navigate in the right side of. panel. Okay, see here, Azure SQL managed instance, virtual machines. This is what we discussed, right? So as I said, these two are the platform as a services. These two are the platform as a services. Now, within the single database, you'll have again three more flavors. Okay, one is singleton and elastic pool and a database server. Okay, so when you are going to deploy the database, okay, so you require logical server also, right? So before that, what we can able to do, we can deploy the database server. Okay, that also it will comes into the scope of when you are deploying Azure SQL. And the managed instance also, you will have single instance and the Arc, Azure Arc also. Okay, we do have virtual machines. So let me, as we discussed this, I want to deploy this, Azure SQL managed instance over here. So just click on this Azure SQL managed instance, okay, to navigate to the next page, which is going to give some information. Okay, so we have the basic information, networking, storage, additional tags, review and all. Don't worry, we will discuss all these stuffs now. Now, see here, there is, filter subscription regions in the subnets. See, recently the Azure SQL managed instance, Microsoft Azure has enhanced to stop and start the services in the instance level. Let's say this service which is not available a year back. Okay, so to save the cost, let's say your business model is for from 10 to 5 p.m. Okay, the rest of the idle 16 hours time, it is, you have to pay. Okay, 24 hours bill you are going to pay. But when you go for, this option, okay, which is going to opt for a non-prod and staging environment, which is going to work, but the production, it is depend upon, business model, whether we are going to opt or not. This is going to save our cost to stop and stop instance level. Okay, I mean to say that, let's say in our on-premises, okay, you will have some, instance level stop and start option, right? So that is the feature that recently they are introduced. Okay, we can able to stop, okay, restart, right? So the same kind of approach here, there is nothing new, okay, that we just need to avail based upon our requirement. So as I said, okay, subscription, what is a subscription? Is a billing container, that what we talked about here, the subscription. So Azure portal subscription here, okay, Azure portal subscription, right? So this is our building container where we are going to group of resources billing. So all the resources in Azure subscription are built together. So this is the gateway of your resources that you are going to deploy. Okay. And the resource group. What the resource group that we talked about? That's what I, more concerned about, discussing this resource group related stuff. Okay. Now, what is the resource group? This is a logical container to deploy your workloads or the resources within this resource group to isolate your business model, or to like production non-prod trading, or else to isolate your, client names, to isolate your regions, whatever. It's all depend upon your, requirement. Okay, so let me take me this, if you want to create a new resource group, you can create, or else see under this resource group, I am keeping my managed instance. Okay, let me make this clear. I have already resource group. If I want to create also, I can create here. Okay, so what I can give here, so uh, CP, okay, test resource group. This is cloud peaks, okay, India, okay, resource group RG, that I'm going to give this name. Okay, let me make it clear. Okay, so I'm just giving the resource. What is the resource group here? It is a logical container of the resources. Okay, now this subscription, it is a logical container for all your resources and deploying of your portal, web portal. It is asking you the name actually. Okay, cloud peaks, okay, and India, okay, uh, prod SQL SRV0. This is my name. Okay, you may well get, other name, client name, whatever you want to give, you can give it. So I'm just scrolling down. We just talked about, compute and the storage. Okay, so uh, this is actually will have some, service tiers, right? So service tiers, general purpose we have, and a business critical you have, right? So general purpose, business critical, both the things you will have here. Which one you are going to opt, that is up to you. Okay, so I'm just making you this, I will talk about the vcore related stuff. Okay, so what is a vcore, what is a dto, I'll talk about. Okay, so I'm just taking the minimum configuration. Okay, so this minimum configuration we are going to do. So to run your server, okay, to run your SQL server, this is my SQL server, right? So to run my SQL server, we required, one VM server, right? Windows or the Linux, whatever. Currently, we installed SQL server in a Windows machine. The similar kind of approach to run this application you have in a server. Okay, if you have the server, you have some configuration also. Okay, so if you have the server, you have some configuration. What is the configuration that we are going to talking about? Storage and storage as well as the CPU, memory and all, right? So in a cloud also, okay, cloud, how they are going to accommodate the services. Okay, there is a vcore and a DTU model too we have. Okay, that I'm going to talk about after some time. Okay, so uh, the CPU, memory, storage related stuff, this is going to indicating here. Okay, this is going to indicating here. Okay, now what is that, CPU, memory related, how we are going to accommodate? See, I want to show something related to our yeah. So this is our hardware configuration, right? What we're talking about currently. So how they are going to give hardware configuration to Azure SQL managed instance. Okay, so we will get some vcore related. Okay, so the architecture level, this is going to happen into. Let me show this vcore and. Here, just before talked about the data center related, I'm just walk through the service tiers and the vCore related stuff. Router black, I'm just confusing. DTU versus vCore. What is a vCore? What is a DTU? That just will slightly will discuss here. Okay, it is simple, straightforward only. Okay, whatever I just discussed to accommodate this thing, you'll get here only. Okay, so let's see this here. Okay, uh, I hope you can able to see, right? So what is the DTU? What is the vCore model? Okay, for our managed instance, we are seeing that, um, general purpose, business critical kind of thing, right? So what I'm just talking about, the hardware component assignment. Let's see this. This is the storage we have. Here also storage we have. DTU model. This is vCore model. Okay. So in a DTU model, they are going to combine, okay, the combination of CPU, memory, and the storage. Okay. This is called database transaction unit model. Okay, you have in a fix, let's say here you have 20 20 GB storage, you will get 10 vcores. Okay, 100 GB storage, you will get 20 vcores. 1 terabyte storage, you will get 200 or 500 DTUs. Okay, so there is a fixed amount of kind of thing. Okay, it is a blend of CPU memory based upon measure of storage, IO, CPU, IO, and a computer related. They are going to fix it here. Okay, when you go for the vCore model, you have a flexibility. Okay, so let's say you have two vCores. Okay, you have two CPUs and you have 10 GB storage, but 100 U core V core you can take it up. Okay, and let's say you have 1 TB storage and you can take the only for a 3 V cores, 5 V cores. Okay, you have a customization, but here you don't have a customization. You are whatever you are going to fix, you have to pay whether you are going to use that much or not, but still you have to pay. But here you cannot able to pay as such. Whatever you want you can utilize here. And one more advantage of the vCore, okay, if you have on premises licensing with you, that you can able to use that in your 1 minute. Yeah. So what it is going to happen, okay, so typically you will get some customization over here. Okay, so you'll not have some customization here. So when you are deploying this, Azure SQL managed instance, okay, so you have two service models. One is a general purpose, which is have 4 to 8 GB cores and 32 GB ROM and 16 terabytes of capacity you have. Business critical also we have up to 80 cores and 32 GB RAM too. Okay, storage is you will get 1 TB. Okay, so 4 TB here. Okay, let's say if I'm going to take this one, you can use that. Okay, I'm just making as general purpose only. Okay, so and you do have some zone redundancy requirements. You'll get region enabled, hardware enabled, backup storage, and everything it is got in enabled your configuration prospector. Okay, to enable this zone redundant compute, select the backup redundancy. Okay, so what is talking about below one. Okay, so let me have this uh, zone redundant if you're going to talk about, okay, which is going to give some flexibility to have here. Okay, so let's say I'm just making yes. Okay, so you'll have some customization if you want to make it no zone redundant, which is not going to happen. Let's say if you're going to make no, that it is going to reduce the price here. Okay, so that is all about. Now the hardware configuration. Okay, so here you can able to see the standard, premium, and the premium series and all. Okay, if you are going to change, so 80 cores and with the uh, 16 terabytes of storage you can see. Okay, so I'm just making as much as minimum here. Okay, toward down I'm just taking about this zone redundant and all. Okay, so just before we talked about the CPU vCore and the DTU model, right? So with Azure hybrid benefit for the SQL server to cost saving, so this is what it is actually. If you are going to use for the hybrid benefit, okay, so you are going to save some cost here, nearly to the 60% of the cost is going to reduce. Okay, so that is all about here. Okay, so I'm just checking now. Okay, so we'll take as pay as you go only. Okay, so just make apply. Okay, so we just configured 4 cores and 32 GB RAM here. Okay, and we just need to provide your authentication methodology. See in on premises how you feel like when you are connecting which is going to do two kinds of methodology. One is for Windows authentication and SQL authentication too. The similar kind of approach Microsoft has given Windows authentication. Just go to the admin part, and then we'll just have to use whatever the ID that you are going to use here. Just select, or else you can give the cloud fix is my Windows authentication ID, and provide your SQL authentication like SQL SA account, okay, SQL admin, that we can talk about the service ID principle here. Okay, so we'll provide a password at the rate. Okay, so your password you have to give, right? Now just move network. So networking, it is going to ask you the, okay, subnet and the vnet, okay, which is already got accommodated. Then we can able to use this one. You can deploy it. Just security, additional settings and all. Okay, so where which is going to give a lot of things. Okay, so geo replication that you want to configure, and every details you can able to explore it. Okay, my focus is only for the deployment. It will show us, entire input information, all these things. Okay, so which is going to take longer time of up to 6 hours here. Okay, so I don't want to go and deploy this one. Okay, once this is deployment is done, you will see this as same as this. Okay, you'll see this as same as this, like you will get this server. Okay, so once it is done after 6 hours or whatever. Okay, so the best way is, once after the deployment we can able to see here, right? So now this is my managed instance. If you can see this resource group, status, location, subscription information, ID, and the created date and time information, and you will see this SQL authentication, Windows authentication and all, and the networking information, the cluster information too. Okay, so event ID you are pretty much aware, right? The same thing you'll see here. Okay, so just 3 hours before I deployed, and I just stopped and start this one. Okay, if I'm going to click, which is going to give information about what you did. This is started. Okay, this is a started now. Just yeah. So here you can able to track whatever you did, and you can able to verify, identify your workloads when it is started, when you stopped. Okay, when you deployed, the information is going to give. This is the access information, and here you can able to see this. You can provide the access for the instance level and the database level, the roles which we can able to assign particular user and all. Let's say if I want to give any role assignment to the particular user. Okay, so you just need to identify that username, and we can able to view here. Okay, so later part providing of this. Okay, to add a particular user, you will get the user information here. Select member that you can able to provide here. I have two members here which I already given. Okay, so just simply select and give, which is going to select for this review and assign the so this is portal level access that you are going to assign to the particular users. Okay, the tags is basically it's label bus. Okay, simple terminology, it's a label. Okay, let's say you are going to take some branded set, everything there is a label, right? So in a SQL aspect, what we are going to consider in this one tags is basically, let's say this is a production. Okay, so you will get mentioned. So what is the value? This is a server number 003 or 001, something like that. Location, okay, this is US location. Okay, in US location, okay, Dallas. Okay, so like that you can able to queue. Okay, so this is identification of your services. Okay, so diagnostics is a problem which is going to give some information about troubleshooting related stuff. Okay, let's say you are unable to connect, so it is going to give some step by step process of kickstart. Okay, so to learn the to learn and do some migration, there is some document is available, which we talked about 2022 feature, which is going to give start option, zone redundancy, DTC connection, okay, network requirement, first instance creation. This is all about um, uh, just for new updates here. Okay, the compute storage latest that we just before talked about. Okay, when you are deploying, this is the option. Post that deployment also you can able to change the including the cost. See how much time it is taking. 61,000 of INR. If I am going to deploy 61,000, I have to pay. Okay, so this is will not get free trial subscription. Okay, the connections thing. So which is already deployed my SQL Server instance here. Okay, so you want to give the connections to the application proxy, .NET, ODBC, JDBC also will get it done. Okay, so how we are going to connect that? Okay, with this instance we don't have any database. So if I'm going to click on this one, you cannot see the database here. You cannot see the databases. Why? Because I haven't deployed any database. So backup also you just need to enable, not required anything. Okay, failure group also which is having. Okay, so you can able to configure failure. But if you could go for the networking option, okay, so I can see this. There's a public endpoint got enabled. Just copy this one and try to connect your instance here. Okay, so how we are going to connect? Now we already connect on-premises SQL Server instance here. Just click on this one, and where you can able to view this SQL authentication and provide your password. So, which is going to connect my local management studio. So here is my local server and my management server also. I just connected management SQL server also. I just connected here. We can compare both the things. Okay, we can compare the both things where I can able to see my symbol indicator. This is my on-premises server. This is my cloud managed instance services. Okay, you will feel like how it is system database. Okay, so user defined database, all these things you can able to see it and verify. Okay, so there is no database here. Okay, you can create. Okay, so you will have SQL agent, integration services, always on our replication. So similar kind, except you will not get access underlying OS. Okay, you will get as same as this one. Okay, so this is all about managed instance related. If I want to create any database, I can create here. Okay, or else if you want to create any database from the portal also, you can able to just click on this one, database related stuff. You don't see any database, right? So just go to this databases, and just make the resource group as it, just provide the name only. Okay, so this is my cloud based test DB or demo DB. Okay, let me check demo DB one. Okay, simple, just next. Okay, click on review. Simple thing. Okay, I'm just creating a empty database, so from the portal end. Okay, similarly you can able to do from here also. Okay, so once it is done, if I'm going to refresh, okay, if I'm going to refresh, it is going to deploy. So as I said, once you have submitted your deployment, you will get in the notification bar what's going to happen. Okay, so once it is done, you will get that database is going to reflect. Still it is taking time to deploy. Okay, either the ways we can deploy it into the portal end, or else you can go and deploy it into this here also. Okay, so both the ways you can able to do. Okay, let me refresh this one to reflect this empty database. Post that you can able to do backup and restore, configure, whatever you want to do, you can do it here. Okay, let it. Okay, by the time I'm going to create one more database in the uh, portal end. Okay, so I'm not seeing that database. Okay, yeah, see here CP demo DB that is got created. I hope it is completed. See, that's what it is. So I'm just going to click on canceling this. Just before we just talked about the managed instance, right? Under the managed instance, left side panel, you'll have the databases. So I could see the list of the databases here. So the same database I just is reflecting. So now I can create from, management studio also. Just go to the resource group, or else if you have the backup file here also, you can able to restore it. That is also can. So you can do in a multiple ways to explore it to creating the database. Okay. So this is one kind of approach to deployment. So now we are going to talk about Azure SQL. So just go to the left side panel. Here is my Azure SQL here. So just go to the click on create. I'm creating this Azure SQL one. So again, it is going to ask you the resource group. I am just taking the existing resource group. Okay, so POC resource group. Okay, and I'm just going to take this, database name. This is, CP uh, uh, test database. Okay, test DB I'm going to create. Okay, so as I said, this database should have some server, right? So this is a logical server that we are going to create. So click on the click create CPAZ SQL 002. This is my normal SQL. Okay, Azure SQL. Okay, just click on OK. Okay. Now, what we are going to do once after the deployment is done, we will connect the both the things. Okay, here also you'll get both the authentication methodology, and for the sake of interest, I'm taking today now it is a, SQL authentication now. Okay, so okay, so I just given SQL authentication only. It will work both the ways. I'm just for exploring this option. Just simple go for the networking option next, and we'll go for the next option and security and click on create. Okay, so this database, normal Azure SQL database deployment has creating process basically. Okay, so two we just deployed here. One is for SQL managed instance. Okay, so SQL managed instance Azure SQL. Okay, so both are the pass model which we can able to talk. Okay, so both are the SQL SQLs, okay, which we're going to deploy it here. Okay, so now I just had some Azure SQL and Azure SQL managers. Go to this, resource group. Where is the resource group here? We'll see this all home. Okay, so once if you can done, here is my SQL Azure SQL we have. Okay, so we'll just go and see this resource group information. Once resource group information got, you just go to the CPOC. Under this, you'll get all the services here. Okay. So I'm just deployed for the Azure SQL, which is going to doing now. Okay. So once it is done, I'll connect that one also. Okay. I'll connect that one from my local system. Okay. So this is the Azure SQL one. So what about SQL Server VM? Okay. So just go for the SQL Server. Okay. SQL Server. Okay. So or else we'll go for this. Okay, so you'll see this database navigation. Okay, and I'll get a lot of things to see. Okay, now I want to create a SQL server. Okay, SQL server 20 22. Okay, so or else 2019 you can take. Okay, SQL Server 2019. So this is my marketplace related stuff. If I find that one, okay, I can able to go and create. I don't want to use for enterprise edition. Free licensing. Just click on create. It is going to navigate to this other port. Okay. Still the Azure SQL is deployment is in progress, not at confirmed. Okay, let me see and deploy this one also. Take this one. Okay, provide the name SQL VM. Okay, 01 my server name. Let's keep all the default. I'm not going to do anything. Okay, so nothing to I'm going to change. Just let's keep move on. Okay, networking and all. So We'll get this networking option. Okay, so uh, next a moment, only the changing part would be the SQL Server settings here. SQL Server setting. I'm just going to SQL Server setting here. Just keep this one, or else will enable not integrate this. We just need to enable this one, SQL authentication. Okay, so SC. Uh, Okay, so you have to give this data. We have to give the account information, SQL admin here, and the password. Okay, all right. Just move forward, and it is going to create and deploy it. Okay, so Azure SQL got deployed, so it is validating now. Which once after that, it is going to create. Okay, I'm just going to create now. Okay, let me make this clear. So I'm just going to dash notification bar. Okay, so if you can see this deployment is completed, go to the resource, go to the resource. Okay, so this resource Azure SQL got created. If you can see this Azure SQL, okay, which has got created now. So how you can able to connect this one? Let's go and click on create and connect this one. Just take the server name, okay, and try to connect. Let's see if there any errors is coming. We'll find out. Okay, uh, go to the database, provide Azure SQL instance, and provide password. Okay, just click on connect. If this is going to ask something related, this is some deny public endpoint and all, right? So what you need to do, there is a public endpoint got denied. Okay, set firewall. Okay, so in the networking part it is disabled, right? So what you need to do, so you just make this, select the networking. Okay, or else you'll find something roles here. Okay, so what you can able to do, just add your client IP, save it. Okay, once after this done, okay, so you will get some uh please public network access before adding. Okay, yeah. So I've just enabled public networking. Okay, so once it is done, okay, so we can easily to connect the server. Okay, so we just need to if you want to connect from your on premises, you just need to enable the firewalls. Okay, see, I have my on premises, I have my managed instance, I have my Azure skill. See, and I'm just expanding my database here. I have the test database, and one more thing which we talked about. Okay, so here is my two things I just deployed and connected. I'm just waiting for this one to deploy finish. Okay, so hopefully it is less than 1 minute. Okay, so I'll upload this recording session. If you want to connect one to one. Okay, this is going to start tomorrow onwards in the evening. Okay, so if you are willing, please contact me so that we can discuss to join. Okay, thanks for joining. Have a nice day. Okay, so take care. Bye bye.